back to No Ma'am. Today we are recapping Canada's Drag Race Season 6 to finale. And I have to say, I guess being the villain does pay off.
But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
All right, spoiler, we're talking about the winner of Canada's Drag Race Season 6, Van Goth. But before we even get into Van's win for the finale, I know how you feel about Van Gogh, Jhoany. And so we're just going to talk about how you feel that Van won.
I love Van. Love Van Goth. Love her. No, at the end of the day, however I feel about her is irrelevant to how she did in the competition. I think she won that fair and square. Did I want Ebony to win? Yes, but based on that final lip sync and the final episode overall, I think Van won that fair and square.
I mean,
I'm never gonna knock a queen for her win because there's a reason she won and she deserves it every single time. I'm not gonna be like one of those fans. She did the best throughout the competition, so she deserved it.
yeah. And if it's one thing about Canada that we can never say like a queen is robbed, and the reason why is because it is hosted by Brooklyn. Brooklyn knows what it feels like to be in the competition, to come in second, to not win, but also go and do amazing things after Drag Race. And I think it is always interesting to get into the mindset of Brooklyn and how she picks the winners. I know she has a lot of thought that goes into that decision, and she does not take that decision lightly. And we see it when she's actually crowning them in the live finale. And when she did it with Ebony, she was like, Ebony, you are going to do amazing things. I love you. I think you're so talented. And I always think that she really cares about all the girls. And so she is extremely passionate about what she does. So yeah, that's one part. Two, Van dominated the competition. And was she polarizing? Yes. She came in being the villain of Canada. And it showed that you can have a villain edit and still win a season.
Mm-hmm.
Is she the first villain to win Drag Race? Who's the first villain? She may be the first villain edit to win Drag Race.
I think you might be right, actually.
Yeah, I don't see they might have
Because
had
I don't think Tyra had a villain edit. She was controversial, yes. But I don't think she had a villain edit.
Hot take. Raven had the villain edit in that season.
Did.
As much as people want Raven to have won season 2, but Raven was the villain of season 2.
Tyra was just a little hard to swallow, but she wasn't the villain.
Yeah, Tyra was a victim of what happened afterwards. So like that's a different conversation for a different day. We can have a whole episode about Tyra and Tyra's nonsense. But as far as Van, I think Van is the only queen that has had a villain edit and has won the season.
I think you might be right. The only other queen I was kind of thinking was Violet, but again, I don't think she was the villain. She was just a diva.
No, she didn't get the Violet, didn't get the villain edit. Who got the villain edit on Violet season was Kennedy. Kennedy and a little bit of Ginger. They got like the old lady brigade, and they were really like shady, and they just went after. But if you look back at it, they really wasn't. It was just that Violet was younger than they were. Like the shade probably it's made it seem like, oh hey. Yeah, not even Bianca. Bianca wasn't the villain of that season, and she won.
Bianca was the sweetheart of the season. She was a motherly figure in that season.
Yeah, Van, and it's the only queen that has had the villain edit from the start of the season. As soon as she came in, we knew that she was the villain. And she lived up to being the villain of the season, and she won the season. And so that's a feat. So she is showing the other girls that, hey, you can come in and be the villain and still win, but you have to have skills to back it up. She's also She's also the second queen in Drag Race to win and not have to do the snatch game.
Who the fuck was the first?
BB.
Yeah, does that really count though?
I mean, she started it all, so I think it does.
I guess. No, I mean not her win, but like her winning without snatch game, because snatch game wasn't a thing.
Okay. And then so second queen to do that. She's the highest. She has the highest what grade point average or points, whatever that little
PPE.
like scorecard, PPE, right? She has the highest that of all of the Canada's drag race winners.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she didn't have the highest track record in her season, but she had the highest in all of the winners.
Mm-hmm.
She is the only queen in Canada's drag race history to have 4 wins, the most. Yeah.
Again, like I
Van
said,
is
regardless of
that
how I
girl.
feel about her, she got her crown. She deserved it.
She did. Van is that girl. Like, she's that girl. You know, Van Gogh, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right now because somebody turned into a New York City girly and didn't let the New York City girlies know that she was in the city.
We could have hashed it out on the remake.
Yes, we would have bought you a drink. We would have and you was at our bar. So
you were at fucking Hardware, bitch.
you was at our bar. We live at Hardware. Like you was at our bar. We would have got you drinks. We would have made sure you was taken care of. So I'm a little upset. You turned into a New York City girly and didn't let the New York City girlies know you was in the city.
Rude.
So the finale, each of the top 4 queens, they were tasked with writing an individual, unique song that pretty much had to do with like their trajectory, but it was uniquely to them. What did you think of this challenge before it got into the top 2?
I mean, I think it was a great challenge for them to kind of prove why they deserve the crown. Like, it was a great last chance for them to do that. I think the songs for the most part fit their drag persona really well. I do think like Ebony and Van, for me, did the best.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ebony and Van overall did the best. I would say I thought Ebony, to me, I enjoyed Ebony's song just because I like the way Ebony sound when she was singing and when she was rapping. I think that can actually be a record that they can put out on Spotify or whatever. Rags to Riches, I think it's a bop. If they work on some of the lyrics, if they clean it up a little bit, I think it'll be really great.
I can say that.
But I'm not going to take it away from Sammy Landry and PM. I thought they both did
No, they
well.
did great. And again, like
Sammy,
the performances fit. The performances fit who they are as a drag persona, and I think it was a great last showing for the season.
Yeah, I also love that Sammy put a little bit of personality into their song. And Sammy was doing choreography, and we know that Sammy is not a dancer, so that was also fun. And then PM, I think PM's downfall was that there was a lot going into it. You know, when you throw everything in the kitchen sink, I just think sometimes you'd have to know when to edit. It's like, yeah, PM is an amazing dancer, but they also just need a little bit of polish, in my opinion. I think it's a little messy sometimes. But overall, I thought PM and Sammy did well. I'm not upset at this top 4.
No, I mean,
I mean, I know you would have preferred Saltina Shaker in the top 4 somewhere.
I would have. And Dulce.
I don't know.
I just love Dulce. It would have been really fun to watch Van Gogh and Dulce at the end. I thought that would have been a great storyline.
Sidebar, Brooklyn did say, she tweeted, I'll probably put it in posts, but she tweeted, I think it was like the 28th of like December, to put Dulce on Drag Race Mexico.
Oh yes,
somebody cast Dulce on Drag Race Mexico, and I was like, absolutely, 100%. We all agree.
Yes.
She needs to be on Drag Race Mexico. Yeah.
Latina Royale.
Or go back to Drag Race Mexico. Just be on
They've never done that though.
Listen, it's the first time for everything.
True.
But yes, we want her on Latina Royale as well. Like season 2. Season 2.
Okay,
because
yes.
Season 1,
give her some time.
Season 1 is already.
Have they started filming?
Yes, it's already filming.
It is, bitch. I didn't know that. Ooh, yes. I'm excited now. I thought they were still casting.
No, I think casting is finished.
What? If there's a single European queen there, I'm a riot. And I mean like European, like, of no Latin descent.
No, the buzz. No, the buzz is not giving. It's not giving like European queens, but it's giving queens from European seasons.
Yeah, no, that's fine as long as they are Latinas. As long as it's Diamante Mary Brown or Visa or somebody like that. Not no damn Chorisame. Love her.
No.
Not for
I
Latina Royale.
those like her name wasn't floating around in the ether. So what I love about every finale is that they always give us the final gown eleganza moment for all of the eliminated queens. So we are going to go into those looks. So first up, we have Paolo Perfeccion. What are we thinking?
For me, this is a yes, ma'am. Is it simple compared to the rest of the queens? Yes, but I think it's exactly who Paolo is. And it fits her aesthetic perfectly, and I think she looks great.
Yes, I think the outfit is a yes, ma'am. What is a no, ma'am for me is the teeth. I did not like the teeth. It threw me off as to when she was talking and it was just like she had these fake teeth and you couldn't hear what she was saying. It literally just made everything to me just go downhill. But if she closed her mouth and didn't say nothing, this is brilliant.
I mean, that's the case with a lot of people we know.
Yeah, but it's the fact that she had the fake teeth and those fake teeth just like distracted me from the overall look and it just took everything out for me. Like everything was bad. But otherwise, loved it. Then we have Star Doll. What are we thinking?
Yes, ma'am. I think she looks great. I think she's beautiful. I love how she incorporated a bit of her hair. I loved it.
Okay. Same. I think Star Doll gets a yes, ma'am for me as well. Did I expect this look from her? Yes. Is it groundbreaking? Not so much.
I think that's
Would
the
I
only
have
reason it's not a Nova for me. It just feels like something we've seen. It's great. It's beautiful, but it's just like maybe because we just had Slajan Royale.
probably? And also because she is Suki Doll's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So we
It is very
are
Suki
looking
doll.
at like it is very Suki. It's a Suki Doll design. We can see it through and through. But also because we have Slajan Royale, our expectations is up here. We expect an amazing runway moment. Something that's like when you turn the corner, is like it slaps you in the face. And this dress does that, but she could have turned the dial up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then we have Hazel. What are we thinking?
This is a yes, ma'am. I think this is the best she's looked in the season, and I don't mean that in a shade away. I don't mean that in a shade away. I think she just looks great, and I think this is a great outfit. I love the way it like hugs her body and the cutouts. I think she looks great.
I gave Hazel an over because I thought this look was really good. I was like, this is a good look. The headpiece, the red, the cutouts, everything was just really well placed and put together. She looked amazing. And I put winner here because Hazel was the winner of Miss Congeniality, which was really funny because she had that fight with Dulce and Untucked and then wins Miss Congeniality.
I thought it would have been really funny for them to give it to Dulce because she was the pitch was not continuing. At least not that. At least not what we saw. Not like wasn't your mother an alcoholic and hated you?
But you know, a part of me is it's weird because I live for Hazel. Like I live for Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing that Hazel done on the show in the time that Hazel was on the show screamed congenial to me. For what they showed. It could have been behind the scenes if she did something else. But also going because season 5, we had Jaylene Time. And that's the mother of Canada. She is congeniality. Like she's congenial.
Yeah.
And then when I think of congenial, I always think of queens that help. I think of queens that will give you like, will make sure that they help you with makeup. They'll help you with like sewing. They'll give you like jewelries and rhinestones. That's kind of what I always think about congeniality in a sense, unless it's a fan favorite like Valentina.
So who would you have named Miss Congeniality? If not Hazel. I'm not sure they really had many congenial queens this season, honestly.
Honestly, maybe Saltina. Maybe
I could see Saltina.
Maybe Maya Fox. Yeah, like they were nice queens. They always they tried to help. They didn't really cut people down, or they didn't have like too many shady moments. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I don't think anybody stood out to me as far as like I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you like a Bendela Creme, or even though she never won Congeniality, but she was a congenial queen, or Trinity did a tuck, right? Like nobody's giving me. I'm gonna make sure.
Didn't Bendela Creme win Congeniality?
No, Ben did. I'm talking about Trinity. Trinity never won,
okay.
even though she was a congenial queen. Like she would give you, she would help you, so she would do all this stuff, but she just never won Congeniality because she was a finalist. So maybe even Sammy Landry, but Sammy Landry was a finalist, and they tend not to except for Saphira, which we know that she was going to win at that point.
Yeah,
But
once they gave her congeniality, we're like, oh, she lost.
yeah, I was like, I digress. But it's hard when you're a finalist and you're not really technically up for the running. I'm not mad that Hazel won congeniality. It's just it didn't resonate with me. It could be the editing of the show.
I just don't think anyone was super congenial this season, honestly. At least to the point where I'm like, oh yes, that should be Miss Congeniality right there.
Yeah. Caramilk, maybe?
I think Caramilk was just very quiet. Like, I don't know if it was necessarily congenial. She was just very reserved. She just wasn't fighting left and right.
True. Or do you think they just put congeniality as like a popularity contest?
But then do you think Hazel should have won that? Not that there's anything wrong with Hazel, and I don't mean that in a shady way. But do you really... I don't know. I think we're looking too much into it, honestly.
Well, bitch, even if you said it in a shady way, shade is shade. It's part of our community.
Fair enough.
Lean into it.
I didn't mean that like she's like a trash queen or anything like that, or like she shouldn't deserve the type of support. I just wouldn't think she'd be the most popular on the season based of what we saw with her fellow queens.
And I will back you up on that, and I would just say, here's my context on why I could agree with that. It's because she was an early out. As much as we lived for Hazel, she was an early out. So we didn't really get to see a lot of the impact that she would have made potentially on the season as some of the girls who went a little further. So to me, when I think of it in terms of popularity, it's prolonged. You have to be on the show for a while for me to be like, oh, you're really popular because you've made such an impact. Yeah. It was kind of like when that one season when they gave Anubis, I forget what season that was for UK, and they made her congenial.
Even though she was
the first out.
First queen out.
So how is she Miss Congeniality?
First or second? Okay.
She was the pork chop. No, she was the pork chop of the season. So how do you make the pork chop of the season Miss Congeniality?
She was congenial.
When she was only there for a day. So that's why I'm a little confused as to
she was so bad and made them look good.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. At this point, they just give congeniality to whoever they want.
They really do.
So, up next, we have Dulce. What are we thinking?
I'm giving it a yes, ma'am. Same with Hazel. I think this is the best she's looked. I think it's a solid gown. I think she looks great. I love the hair. It's very, like, Texas drag queen, and I love it for it. Like, Texas pageant drag.
Sorry, I was going to say something, and the Lord got me together, and I was choking at the same time. And
fuck, what are you gonna say? What's so bad that the Lord shut you the fuck up?
Because I was like, Texas? I was like, because she's a Latina, she has to be from Texas?
It's the drag bitch, very like Texas pageant queen.
So only Latinas in Texas pageant look like this?
I didn't say that. You're putting words into my mouth, you fucking cut.
You insinuating. That's what you insinuating. Shout out to Colton.
How about you insinuate this?
I'm just saying. No, I totally understand what you mean. Yeah, yes. Yeah. It really giving it's Texas pageantry has a distinct look to it. And it does look like this. Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I could see Kennedy wearing this.
What's that? Geneva Carr. Yeah. Like totally, I get it.
See, I said a black one. You said a Latina, and you put it, and you're saying that I'm saying only Texas or only Latina queens are from Texas or whatever you said.
I mean, the ones we've seen so far. I give Dulce, yes, ma'am. I think Dulce looks amazing. I love the look. I think this is high glam. This is an amazing finale look for her, and I'm so proud of her. Next up, we either have Velma Jones or we have Maya Fox. They both got eliminated at the same time. So let's do Maya Fox. What are we thinking?
I'd say yes, ma'am. I think she looks great. I love how big this dress is, and I love the color of it.
I gave Maya Fox an over. I thought Maya looked good.
She does.
I was like, baby. Maya came out and was like stunting on the hose. I said, where was this Maya in the season?
Nowhere to be found, bitch. Nowhere to be found.
Apparently. But this is good. This is what I mean about when you go home and you realize, okay, yes, I didn't really showcase myself. And you come back and you give us a finale look. Like, this is a finale look.
This is yeah. I feel like when you're a queen that was eliminated and you come back for the finale, you have to like give the people a bit of this is what you could have had.
Correct. And she did. But let's move on to Velma Jones. What are we thinking?
It's a yes, ma'am. I don't think there's anything bad about this outfit. I think she looks great. It's just not my favorite.
This is a no, ma'am. I didn't like it at all. I don't understand
What?
it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm not understanding the purple
Not
with
you
the
being
magenta,
misogynistic.
with the fuchsia, with that Marge Simpson wig, and the Dalmatian. It's all over the place for me, and I don't understand
I
it.
like it. It's giving like woman after like who's on her like fifth divorce.
No.
I like it. It's not my favorite, but I like it.
You know, and I get it. Not all the time does fashion work.
But it's
And
a
what I mean
fashion.
by that is, but it's a fashion. But what I mean about that is sometimes there will be a clash of patterns. And we saw that in the Betsy Johnson runway of season
Yes.
17.
And I live for a clashing pattern.
Yes, but those patterns worked. I look like when I remember the look that stands out to me the most was Jules Sparkles, which is why she
Mm-hmm.
won that challenge. Those clash of colors and patterns worked. Betsy Johnson is a master at putting things that necessarily won't go together and should not go together, and she makes it work.
Betsy's the
This
queen of
is
camp.
yes, but this is almost there, but that Dalmatian print takes me all the way out.
That was my favorite part of it, though.
No, I think it's a harsh juxtaposition between that
I
top
don't.
and the bottom.
I think that's what I like about it, though. I don't know. I like it.
I mean,
Not my
hey,
favorite, but I
listen,
like it.
it didn't scream finale eleganza though.
That I will give you. Yes.
And I think Velma has had some really great runways. So it's not about me not liking Velma's runways. I just don't think that this lived up to my expectation.
I'll give you that. Okay, that's fair.
Then we have Saltina Shaker. What are we thinking?
Yes, ma'am. Almost a Nova. I think it's very grand. I think it's great. Actually, no. I don't see a reason not to give her Nova. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, over.
I was like, okay.
No,
Yes,
it's because I'm
Saltina.
like, to be honest, none of the looks when the queens came out like absolutely gagged me. I don't think any outfit this season really did, honestly, actually. At least not in a way that made me have like a guttural response the way some of the other franchises have. But I think this was a really good look, so I'm gonna give her an over.
Okay. I also gave Sultina an over. I think this is the best she's looked in the whole entire season.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course you
this
would
is an
say that. I knew you
amazing.
were gonna say that.
This is an. This is the best she's looked for me in the whole entire season.
Love
This to
Saltina.
me gives me why she's the most followed queen in Canada. If I would have saw this throughout the season, I would have understood why she's the most followed queen in Canada.
Okay.
But
Love
what y'all
Saltina.
was telling me, and what I was seeing was not it. It was like what I bought versus what I ordered versus what I got. That's what it was really giving me.
Don't
No
do that
shade.
to
I'm
Saltina.
sorry. That's what it was giving me. It was very much that. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, I told you." In the Meet the Queens, they was like, "Sorry to that man. I don't know who that man is." Like,
You did say that. You did say
so,
that.
sorry to that man. Like, I don't know, but this is an amazing look. And then we have Caramel. What are we thinking?
This is a yes. Yes, ma'am. I think she looks great. Again, I think the best she's looked the entire season. And I love this color on her.
Okay, I gave Caramel an over.
It would have been an over for me had the like the train and the skirt been fuller. Like had it had more volume to match the shoulders, I think it would have been an excellent, like a perfect look.
I loved it. I thought she looked really sexy. I think she looked regal. I loved the whole entire outfit together. I like the flowiness of it. And baby, those legs, child, those legs, immaculate. So good. Shout out to Caramel. Again, she reminds me, like her and Maya Fox. This is what you do. You go home, you realize, oh bitch, I gotta bring it from this finale because I got eliminated. Especially Caramel. You get eliminated just before the finale, you definitely gotta bring it.
True, true.
Like, your grandmother cannot be Isis Couture and you don't bring it on the runway.
I mean, she didn't the rest of the season. Wait, did she? I don't remember, honestly. I just said that to say that, but I actually don't remember.
Then she did what?
Did she bring it the rest of the season? Runway wise, I don't think she did she? I
No,
don't
but her
remember.
mom is Kimmy Couture, so it makes sense. It's very on brand.
Fair enough.
Like, it's very on brand. The only
Mhm.
the only one that brings it on the runway is Isis. Isis got to trickle that down to her kids because
She do. She
it's
got to
skipped a
teach them how to
generation.
sew. Maybe it does
That
that.
part.
Maybe it does that. She need to go to the Trinity like school for mothering.
Listen, she got to teach. She got to teach her daughters how to sew. She got to teach
Mm-hmm.
both of her daughters how to sew.
Mm-hmm.
But she got to trickle it down to her grandkids too, because they got to learn how to use the sewing machine. I just find it to be really funny.
She got to
She
sit
bought
them
it.
down and teach them how to sew the way Latina mothers teach their kids how to do their homework. And it's like grab your chancla, put them there, and just be like, "What's? How do you sew this?" And just smack them with the chancla every time they do it wrong. That's how I learned. That's how I learned what 2 plus 2 was.
I did not have that. I'm so sorry for you. Then we have the top four. So out of the top four, who has your favorite look?
It's between Sammy and PM for me, but I'm gonna go with Sammy because I think this is exactly like her type of drag, like turned up to 100. Like it's very trashy, it's very mall drag, it's very like trailer park box wine, but it works for her. And again, it's elevated. It makes sense for her as a finale look.
Interesting. My favorite look was Van Gogh's.
Of course
I
it was.
really and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the first look. I enjoyed the reveal into the Starry Night. I thought that was so on brand.
It
I love a
yes,
reference.
yes,
Love a
yes,
reference.
yes. It was a really good look. Yes, ma'am, for sure. I think she looked great. I don't know. I think I maybe just expected a little bit more from Van. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't necessarily underwhelming, but I like her being the look queen of the season. I expected like again something that would absolutely like jaw dropping, like amazing, legendary type of look.
I don't know. I kind of disagree. I thought this was a great look. I thought it was jaw dropping.
It's good.
I don't think Van is the queen that will give you like big over the top looks. I look at her, I've seen her catalog. I've seen that it's never they're great looks and they're really well executed concepts. They're sewn immaculate. The designs are really great, but they're never like big and like grand.
Hmm.
Like you know how some people have like the big old
Yeah,
headpieces and like the dress is bigger than them. I don't really get that from Van, which is not a problem. I just don't think that that's her aesthetic.
yeah. I think we might have just gotten used to that because of other franchises, which is not fair to these queens actually for us to kind of have, or at least for me to have that lens to view them from.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody is going to pull like what Priyanka did for the step down, what
I
Isis
mean, that's
Couture
different.
did
That's
for
like
their step down.
those are step downs. Those are different.
Yeah. Or maybe a
Although I
Pythia, right, with the three heads. Right, like those are different kinds of fashion concepts. I thought Van did I really enjoyed the look. I think it was a nod, one, to the name. I think it's also a nod to the first look with the ear. And now you bring another painting. I was like, this is great. What I didn't like about Sammy's, I just it was all over the place.
but that's Sammy. Like Sammy is not a put together queen.
Yeah, and I agree with Brooklyn when Brooklyn said that, right? Like she says she loves Sammy's drag and she thinks she loves the messiness of it all. She loves the mall drag, but there needs to be an element of polish there too. And I think this dress in particular missed that mark.
Very, very slightly see that point. But I do think there she is polished when it comes to being a trashy, like messy mall queen. Because let's be real, we've seen a lot of them in New York, who are nowhere near close to being as polished as she is. And who never be able to pull this off. Or at least not I don't want to say never, but who currently will not be able to pull this off.
Yeah, but did she pull it off though?
I think she
If
did.
we're being really
Like
if
I
we're being
wanna
honest, did she
go
pull
have
it
a
off?
cigarette with her.
Well, you want to have a cigarette with her because of her personality, but not because of the dress.
I like
If
that.
this dress was on somebody else, you would hate it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's on Sammy.
Correct. So is the look great?
She makes the look great. How about that?
There we go. I think that's the point. And that's my point. It's
But
like
at the
I
end of the
live
day,
for a messy queen, but I would prefer a little bit of polish. Here, I think the polish is missing, especially for finale. It's all over the place.
at the end of the day, we're judging the runway based on what the queen is like, the queen and the outfit. It's like it's not like we're judging it on a mannequin.
100%. Yes. Which is why like your rating is your rating. Like I'm not taking it away from you. But at the same time, it's like I want to get into the look. I really want to enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it, not because I'm kind of partial to messy queens, but I love messy queens who give me still like polish. And I don't think Sammy, in my opinion, gave me the polish that I needed, along with her being messy. Like I'm seeing
That's
on
a
the current season
I
of
see.
drag,
Yes, I see what you mean.
yes, like on the current season of Drag Race, we have Darlene Mitchell. Darlene Mitchell reminds me of Sammy Landry. I
Queen
think
of the
they're in the
court.
same lexicon of messy, pedestrian, trashy drag.
Mhm.
Like in the like it'll be like like if you do like the little bars and like it's like a diagram and it's like a leaf over here and a a tree, right, a branch. I think they're in the same kind of family. What I love about Darlene, and we'll go over, so make sure you watch our recap of RuPaul's Drag Race. Sometimes Sammy gives me a little bit of chaos, and that chaos to me in this look took over because that wig is a
I
crime.
love the wig was my favorite part. Like how big it was and how like
Girl,
I don't know. I lived for it.
that wig is a crime. It's criminal.
We've seen worse wigs.
We have. And then I don't want to take away from Ebony. I think Ebony looks really great, and also PM, but they just wasn't giving me like finale looks.
Yeah, like especially with Ebony, like I felt like I expected way more, honestly. She looks beautiful,
Yeah.
great look, but like you said, not from the finale.
And I
PM,
get PM's concept. I understand why PM did it. I just want to see more of
I think
PM.
it should have been bigger.
Okay.
Like the puff should have been bigger, more fabric. I think it should have been like some huge sleeves.
Okay. I can appreciate a reference and a nod to something important, but I just wanted to see, this is your finale. So I wanted to see you in the finale. Like,
I thought
what
talking
would
about my
PM
finale.
No, I'm like, I wanted to see like what would PM
Mhm.
look like? Like what would an elevated version of PM look like? And so that's kind of what I would have preferred to see, but that's just me. But we see that the top two came down to Ebony Nabel and Van Gogh. Honestly, it was the Ebony versus Van Gogh show in this season. There was some elements of other queens coming in here and there, but it was Ebony versus Van Gogh the whole entire
Yeah,
season. So no shame.
pretty much.
So we see that Van Gogh is the winner. And we said it and we spoiled it in the beginning. Congrats to Van. I think Van did really well. I'm excited to see what Van does with this reign. I am excited also, one, because I know how much disdain Jhoany had for Van in the beginning. I just think it is so funny.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rub this in all the time. Also, I have to give it to my girl Ebony LaBelle because I think Ebony did amazing this season too. And I'm so excited for fans to really appreciate Ebony and see what Ebony's gonna do. Like, bitch, shake your ass everywhere.
Bitch, you shake
Trademark
that
it.
ass. What I will say, and this, I guess, this is gonna be the last thing I say because the season's over, is I respect Van and her craft and who she is as a drag persona, and I think she's great at what she does. She absolutely deserved the crown. I think the only reason I really did not become a fan of her is just like what happened in like those first two episodes. And I think a lot of it has to do with the current political climate that we're living here in the US. So I think that affected the way I kind of viewed her comments or the way she acted towards Dulce. And it was hard for me to get over that. And anytime I see her, I just kind of think of that, and I'm like, But again, great drag queen. She deserves the crown. She did amazing.
Yeah. No, and I think those are also valid points. I always have to play devil's advocate because on one side, yes, we can pick up on the nuances, we can pick up on the slight microaggressions that happened in the season. Even when Hazel was having a conversation with Dulce, like there were some microaggressions there. I don't think they fully realized to the extent. That's not what they mean, but that's kind of where it comes off. But that's one hand. On the other hand, it is the edit. Like, I'm not taking it from Van.
And-
like, Van is the villain. Like, it's just villain. She's shady as fuck. Like, regardless of the edit, she's shady. But we have to understand that the edit does play a factor in that because that's the story that they want to portray. So that emotion that you have, that's the edit. That's the producers doing their job, right? Like, Van is a polarizing character. Whether you like Van Gogh and you are a fan of Van, or you have disdain for Van, but you're going to feel something about Van Gogh. Whether or not it's positive or negative, you're going to have a response to it. And that's the point. And I think sometimes when I see the fans and they get so upset at a particular queen, they forget that that is what the producers are intending. Because if you're not talking about them, guess what? They're not doing their job.
Exactly.
Like, we just so happen to pick up on some nuance in terms of names and why that's so important because of our lived experiences. But if we were two white twinks talking about Drag Race, they would be living, right? And that's the point. We could have had a whole episode of why we felt the way we did for that moment, and we did, right? But I'm saying, like, that was intentional. Even with Hazel and Dulce, Dulce put on, you know, she's like, listen, Hazel and I, we talked, we're fine, please don't send her hate. But we can also have a full hour-long conversation about why that moment was controversial.
Are you talking about this last fight?
Yeah. Right? That, from our perspective, could be taking just as much.
I wouldn't say just as much. But yes, definitely, like, microaggressions in that conversation as well that I don't think she realized either. Yeah.
Right, like we can have a whole hour conversation of how there's parallels between Van and Dulce's conversation to Hazel and Dulce's conversation. And while Dulce literally throughout the whole entire season, everybody's discrediting her as to why her drag is not up to par. Right, like, why nobody was checking for her? Why nobody was checking for Caramel until they had to be in the bottom and they saw that they were great lip syncers? Now all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh shit, I don't want to be in the bottom. So we can dive into all of that. Right, like, it's there for us to be able to talk about, but we are talking about it because of our lived experiences. Other people, they're just watching the show. And if you don't fit their narrative, guess what? They don't like you.
Very that.
I'm excited for Van to win because I think that it's about time that we had a villain win. I think it makes for great television that a villain can come in and win, and the queen with the most wins. Like,
because that don't happen all the time.
That don't happen often, right? Like, it's the queen with the most wins sometimes is not the one who actually wins. And so the fact that we had a queen with the most wins and they won, like, yeah. And it also, like, where you're going into a top two and they're both evenly matched, and it's really based on how you personally resonate with them. There's Ebony LaBelle stands, there's Van Gogh stands. I thought this was a well-matched season in terms of top two contestants. I don't think the top four necessarily was as well-rounded, but I think the top two was balanced.
Yes, absolutely. I think, like, we said it in, I think, the last episode, love PM, love Sammy, but this was not their season. And that's not to take away from their talent or who their drag personas are. Just based on the edit that we saw, it was not their time to win.
Yeah, I think this season, has some really great queens. But anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. Until next time, bye.